stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. Don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. Having a good time. I'm a shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger, defying the laws of gravity. I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva. I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me. I'm burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I wanna make a supersonic man out of you. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call. Don't stop me now. 'Cause I'm having a good time. Don't stop me now. Yes, I'm having a good time. I wanna make a supersonic one of you. Stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me. Hey, hey, hey. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't stop me, don't stop me. Have a good time, good time. Don't stop me, don't stop me.
This is In the Know for Wednesday, April 15, the 106th day of 2020. There are 260 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station, 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com. Via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud or iTunes podcast. We're on Facebook Watch, on YouTube Live, on Periscope, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we will update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. We'll be telling you about a briefing from Governor Beshear yesterday. President Trump had some comments from the White House yesterday. There's a Grayson County COVID-19 briefing coming up later on in your morning today. We'll be looking forward to that. And we'll be checking in on seeing how everyone's doing. Are we healthy or what? We've got that and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay. It's been kind of crazy this morning,
Your
but I'm hanging in there.
Virtual vacation day number 3 takes us to what? Las Vegas, Nevada?
Yes.
Okay, so you're rocking the pink Vegas shirt today. If you're just joining us this
chilly,
week.
so I had to put,
You had to have the extra layer underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you just decided to take a vacation through T-shirts of various places that might make you happy.
It could be places, concerts.
Could you, but couldn't you, I don't know how many Las Vegas shirts you have, but couldn't you do
several.
about a whole week?
I could, but I'm trying to break them up.
That's good. That's good. Rotate them through. Get good wear across your
You've seen the
entire
floor
T-shirt
in our
wardrobe.
bedrooms,
Yes, I
right?
have. Yep. She's the pride of Pumpkin Center, the heiress to the great mini burger fortune. She's Vera Wang's arch nemesis and the professional bargain hunter's woman of the year. She's Misty Embry Thomas. Hey. Wait. Was that full-throated?
Yeah,
You
I think so.
You sounded,
Am I losing my voice?
your
Oh,
res-
God, what just happened?
Oh, no.
You know, I'm
Don't
very
even.
psychosomatic. Don't do that to me.
Your resolve sounded a little bit uncertain. Hey, everything all right? You
Try
okay?
again.
Yeah,
You
right.
full-throated? 2 thumbs up?
From the top.
Are you healthy? Just
I
say you're-
was
just
until
say
you
you're-
s- till
say
you
you're
looked at
healthy.
me like
It
that. I'm
just
like,
She's
didn't-
fine.
In my ears, it didn't come out real strong as like your general smooth as peanut butter. Hey, it was more like hey.
There we go.
It sounded like there was
Hey.
a waffling note in there. I was like, whoa.
Are you serious?
Is that
So don't do that to me.
everything's okay?
Well, I was great until that.
It may be the happiest April 15th you might ever have.
This
Because
is
you don't have to
true.
pay taxes today. You get
Yeah,
3
I
more months if you
know.
want to.
And my butter pumpkin, he was born 49 years ago today.
Yeah, I heard that rumor.
Cutest little chunky baby ever.
Butter-
Actually,
did you call him your butter pumpkin?
I listen, I make up stuff all the time. He gets all kinds of
Good one.
nicknames.
Butter pumpkin.
My little
All right.
chocolate icy cupcake, and he cute. Yeah, so he, his mom says he was a really ugly baby. I'm like, that's not true. He grew up to be very handsome. Yeah,
Was he like really chubby?
yeah, he was he's been
Like the roles?
he's been husky from birth. Yeah, Yeah, I love
Well,
Husky.
happy birthday to Jason.
But this is the first birthday we don't have to file taxes.
It's nice. It's nice to have the extra time.
That's his birthday gift.
I'm happy. Well, I'm happy we don't have to pay ours until my birthday.
It's a gift for everybody. I got it for everybody, not just
good.
him.
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you lining that out. Cold and frosty start to this Wednesday morning. Sunshine and strong winds of strong wind gusts from the south this afternoon will help push us into the 50s. Early evening rain showers tonight. Then the rain will fade quickly early in the evening, depending upon cloud cover. Depends on if we'll get another freeze by tomorrow morning. So if you brought your plants in before last night, then leave them in for another night just to be safe. Tomorrow will be drier as the afternoon features a mix of sun and clouds. Highs will be in the 60s or approach 60 tomorrow. So 56 today, 34 tonight, and 60 tomorrow under a partly cloudy sky. Governor Beshear gave his daily briefing yesterday and gave the latest numbers of what's happening in Kentucky. He said there are 177 new cases of the coronavirus. Those were confirmed between Monday evening and yesterday afternoon. That brings the state's confirmed total to 2210. He announced 11 new deaths blamed on the virus, bringing the state's death toll to 115. At least 653 have recovered from the virus. About 27,697 citizens have been tested. We did get our first fatality from a worker in the healthcare field. As a result, a 50-year-old Pamela Hughes, who worked as a medical technician at Summit Manor Nursing Home, is the first healthcare worker at a long-term care facility to perish from the virus here in the Commonwealth. There were new cases yesterday confirmed in several counties, but the ones that pertain to us, Warren, Butler, Muhlenberg, Edmondson, and Hardin counties were among the list. Grayson County will have a briefing at 11 a.m. this morning. Grayson County Judge Executive Kevin Henderson will appear on the K105 digital productions platforms. That's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, as well as on K105 and 1039 The Moose. That begins at 11 o'clock today. The president, I'd like to make a request of the governor. The governor's been very good, and I've been very good about the governor.
Mm-hmm. You've played nice.
We're in our at least fifth week now. I'm going to need the governor to trade in some of his time. He's holding the state's media hostage for an hour. Mm-hmm. And I need him he can accomplish everything he needs to accomplish daily in 30 uninterrupted minutes.
I think even less, but I'm a quick talker.
I'm saying he can go from an hour down to a half hour and achieve the same thing.
Yep.
I will just tell you, the longer, to Miss Staley and his staff, the longer he goes, the impatience builds, because you're trading in a whole lot of goodwill. It's like, okay, good, he's out there. But when it's retread information, the first few weeks, right? Educational, calming, etc. We got that, right? We know what distance it is. Mm-hmm. We know you can't be doing that. We know the things you can't be doing. Mm-hmm. So rather than do this 8 or 9 minute stroll through the garden every day that you do, just come at us with the numbers.
Yep.
Tell us what's new, what we need to know, and let us go about our business. Otherwise, you're going to start getting the hook.
But I need one more bullet point. So come out and just say, here's how many new cases, here's how many new deaths, this is where the cases are, and here's who was on the snitch line.
Sure.
I need an update on the snitch line.
Bring the
Can
snitch
I have more
line.
of the snitch line?
Bring us the snitch line. Give us more of the chants together.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's say it together.
Yeah.
Come on. I don't disagree that the state needs to hear from the governor every day.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think it's perfect.
There's information we
right?
want.
It's good. That's why we're carrying it. To be clear, I make the decision. Mm-hmm. Right?
That's true.
I'm the one who makes the decision.
Yeah, I wasn't even asked.
And I made the decision to air it. Now I'm saying, all right, let's start to reel it in just a little bit. You don't need a whole hour.
Yeah,
it's not
droning.
Mr. Andy's neighborhood.
Yeah.
Mr. Rogers only needed 30 minutes.
And he turn into that.
He taught you everything you needed to know about life.
Thank God for Kenneth and Virginia, because they really get us through it, right? Like they give us more to be entertained by.
The president kind of walked things back a little bit yesterday, that maybe he's got a different impression of what total authority is yesterday than he did the day before.
In my impression yesterday, I forgot the word total. That was the word that really got him in trouble. It was total. It's total power.
I don't know if you've heard, but there's a lot of power
total.
with the presidency.
Yeah. Total power.
But he did say, yes, the governors play an important role. But then he said, but if the governors don't do it right, we're going to be watching and we're going to come down hard on you. And it's like, okay, yeah, do that.
It's going to be a bigly hammer.
That's right. It's going to be a bigly Thor hammer.
Yes.
Only me and Thor can pick it up.
Not a
Could
gavel.
he wear the
right.
Thor hat when he speaks from now on? I mean, he's got to do something with that hair.
Maybe.
He wouldn't cut it before things were shut down. You know he's not going to cut it now.
That's right.
His hair will be the most interesting to watch.
He basically saying, I need the governors to be in support of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I need us to come up with 50 different plans for 50 different states, but I expect you to be for me. And if you start going against me, then we're going to you, but until then, you can be in charge. That's what he's saying.
But basically, that's the way we do religion. Is we love that you have religion as long as you believe the way we do.
Sure,
we're all going to get
a whole lot of
along,
that.
right?
Yeah,
so
sure.
That's what he's saying here.
Absolutely. The other thing about President Trump, I will tell you, in the same way that I'm saying it about Governor Beshear, the president is in a much more slippery slope because for a president who for 3 years wouldn't go in the White House briefing room and now he's in there for an hour every day, he's vulnerable. And actually more than an hour.
Yeah.
Because now things are waiting off topic and then he can't help himself. He has to respond.
Yeah, no, he does.
For the first few weeks that he would go in the briefing room, it was, the guardrails were pretty narrow on the road. It was hard to get in the ditch. But now the more time, the press is making up for lost time. You haven't been willing to come in here for 3 years, but now that we have you here, he's his own worst enemy. He can't not respond.
And then we've known this. We've known this since
and then he
we've met
runs
him.
on the other side of that wall, and then he grabs his tweeter.
Yeah, I know, right? Total power, total control.
Gotta do this.
That's right. And I'd just like to say I was doing okay without Barack Obama.
Yeah.
And then I had to see that he's got a 12-minute video out that basically undermines everything that's happened since he left office. Like, you go away.
I saw where he endorsed Joe Biden, and Joe said, "For what?"
Yeah. For what? For what, Barry?
I'm going to endorse you. No, it's a meme.
No, it's a funny
it's a
meme that's
meme.
going around.
Wait.
It could have
He says,
happened.
"I'm going to endorse you today," and Joe Biden says, "For what?"
Hey, I don't know that it didn't happen.
That's funny.
Do
mean, it could have been-
Do you know that it didn't happen?
No, I don't.
I don't.
I don't. But it's
That's funny.
yeah.
The administrative office of the courts, the Kentucky Supreme Court, have overridden a previous administrative order that had extended the closure of the Supreme Court from May 1 to now it will be May 31. And a lot of people are reading into that saying that means we're going to be shut down for a whole nother month. And I don't agree with that. I think that the court system is unique, is that dockets have to be set, witnesses have to be lined up, juries have to be assembled. The court system is not one that you can just press pause on and then wait some time and then press unpause because there are too many people involved. There are people that have to go in and disinfect the courthouses. There are judges who have to arrange their schedules that maybe travel from courthouse to courthouse. You have to have circuit clerks you have to have clerks that have to have everything spooled up. Paperwork has to be redated. The dockets have to be reworked. And so just like in the NFL or Major League Baseball or college football, you can say we're going to start on this date, but the work to that date has to start about a month earlier. So I really believe that if they're saying we're going to resume some court-like stuff on May 31, I think you can look for things to start to solidify early in the month of May to say, okay, we're eyeing this. You can't just call everybody overnight and say we're getting the band back together. It's just not how it works. So I don't think that the fact that the court system, certainly the Supreme Court, is saying May 31, I don't find that to be an ominous sign. Because if it is, I'm not going to like it.
Can't do another 6 weeks of this.
Not doing it.
I don't know.
And by the way, I'd just like to go ahead and say today, Are you ready? I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and ask for permission. It's going to be some weeks from now.
I think that's a Jew.
But no. I'm saying on behalf of you all, on behalf of me, is that when everybody else goes back to work, we're out of here for a while.
That's right. Yes.
Amen.
We get a break.
when you all resume your normal routine, those of us who have been at
I'm
it
out.
and continuing to be at it,
I tell you who.
I don't know when it is, but I'm going to be gone for a few days.
I tell you who we bring in so they still have a show. All those people who like to tell us how we're doing it wrong, I would love for you to come in and do what we do every day
Sure. I like it.
so that we can
No,
really
I
watch
don't.
and figure out how to do it right.
That still requires somebody to
Answer the
operate
phone.
the board and answer the
No,
phones.
honey, let them get after it because they know.
All right.
You just come in here and do it because apparently you know.
There is an article at K105.com today. Congressman Guthrie is giving details on how the CARES Act is impacting Kentuckians.
Brett for Prez.
If you're unsure and you need his office or need the inside of the congressman's office, you can read about that, what the Paycheck Protection Program does, what the stimulus checks do.
Have you got your Donald box?
I was going to talk about that next segment if you don't.
I'll roll it
If you
back.
can wait. If you can't wait, if it's a life or death matter, I'll answer the question now. If you can wait 7 minutes, then I'll defer 7 minutes. Can you?
This is me patiently waiting.
Kentucky lawmakers overrode the veto of the voter ID measure in Frankfort yesterday. Governor Beshear had vetoed the voter ID bill that had been sponsored by Secretary of State Michael Adams. And the ACLU says, well, we may file a legal challenge against that. Surprise, surprise. I guess that's to be expected. Here's where I am. The measure would require Kentucky residents to produce a photo ID when voting, with limited exceptions. And you'll remember I was in support of this, and you'll remember that one day I was accused of white privilege, right? And so I've not forgotten that, by the way. But here's where I am. Here's where my support for voter ID, the origins of it are. If you were going to have heart surgery, would you just take someone's word for it that they were a surgeon if they were just on the side of the street? Like if you were walking down the street and you ran into somebody and said, I got chest pains, and they say, I'm a heart surgeon. You want me to operate on you? Sure, let's do that. Would you hire a lawyer that had never that couldn't prove they had been to law school? Should we just take people's word for it that they're legally that they're legally qualified to vote? I don't think we should. I don't think we should just say, sure, I'm allowed to vote. I have the right to vote.
I think that this is a sign of how the generations get separated in, like the greatest generation, their vote was like a bar of gold to them. Right?
Sure.
The boomers, they feel very strongly about their vote. The Gen Xers, we are a little more relaxed. I know there's a lot of people my age that don't vote. The millennials, they don't get very politically involved. Now, the Gen Zs, because universities are now crying out for them and they're training them to get involved in politics, and they drive their class formats in the form of political issues, they're getting more energy and more charged. But I think if you follow that thought process, it's gotten to a very relaxed place of why should we make for sure people really are legally able to vote? But we make you have a driver's license to legally drive a car. Mm-hmm. We make you have a driver's license to do other things.
We don't let people drive big commercial, big rig trucks without
Without a
some type
special-
of
there's
proving
right.
that you are skilled to do it. So that's what I don't understand. What's the harm if we're willing to solve every problem related to you getting the proper identification? Mm-hmm. If we will literally go pick you up at your house and take you to get an ID and go back, how can that really be a bad thing other than the fact is you just don't want to? And that's where and so that's what should we just take someone's word for that they're legally qualified to vote? And I say no. We shouldn't just take someone's word for it, because we don't just take someone's word for most anything.
It's for me, it's a very sacred right, and we need to make for sure that that data that comes out of that is correct.
Sure.
So in any way, shape, or form that we can protect that and produce accurate data, then that needs to happen.
Marcy's Law 2.0 coming back to the ballot box this fall. One additional thing that's been added, though, is that there's a provision in there that if you're the victim of someone who's about to be pardoned, you get additional notification and the ability to sound off before the pardon is issued.
I like that.
Who do you think that's as a result of? I know. And gas prices continue to plummet. They have hit a 52, the national demand has hit a 52-year low. And I don't know the last time gasoline prices were $1.10. I mean, lower than the region.
Well,
I do. I was
Litchfield's
riding a
low.
Raz around Caneyville.
So you filled up my vehicle last time.
Yes.
I filled it up this morning.
Yeah.
And I thought I didn't get enough gas in there. I
I'm
looked
still
at the
pumping
number
it.
and I was like,
Kicked off way
wait a
too
minute.
early.
Wait, what?
I was
Kicked
like,
off.
Something's
what
wrong.
is happening?
Nick Richards is the fourth Kentucky player to enter the NBA draft. And a reminder, we're participating in the healthcare parade tomorrow at 11 o'clock on K105 and on...
Tomorrow or Friday?
I thought it was Thursday.
What is today?
Today's Wednesday.
Is it Thursday or Friday? I thought it was Friday.
Thursday. The healthcare parade. So we'll find out. Anyway, the healthcare parade is coming up this week,
Where
and
you gonna
those
be at
healthcare
that?
workers are the front line. Well, to be clear, we sort of got volunteered.
That is true.
No, yeah.
No, but I mean, it's
I
like,
volunteered too,
this
yes.
is when. Okay, we're doing it. All right, fine.
Again, still volunteers.
So the nurses that have been trying to figure out their PPE shortage, Teresa J. Dranger's cup is runneth over. She's 43 years old. She works as a licensed practical nurse in Collins, New York. She's going viral thanks to a if you don't laugh, you'll cry moment. Like many healthcare workers, she's on the front line. She decided to see if she could replicate the viral tutorial trend of crafting her own makeshift face mask from one of her old bras,
Oh, okay.
but captured the side-splitting result on video because her sizable cup covered more than just her nose and mouth. It
God
covered
love
her
it.
entire face.
Yeah, I was going to say, some of y'all will suffocate.
Right.
Some of y'all will have to choose mouth or nose. Mouth or
Some of you are going to have to cut eye holes in there.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
is Friday, by the way.
It is Friday?
Yes,
All
Friday is Friday.
Good. I got one more day to get the soundtrack together. Good. We got to get to a break. Keep on sewing that PPE. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. 20 more on the way here on In the Dome.
At Litchfield Pediatrics, we don't just love our community, we love yours too. Serving surrounding counties from Warren to Hardin, our growing network of physicians and professionally trained staff provide the best in pediatric care. Now offering new online appointment requests, available 24/7 and can be accessed by visiting our Facebook page. Give us a call at 270-259-5641 or stop by our new facility located at 901 Wallace Avenue. Litchfield Pediatrics, providing the best in pediatric care.
Wash your hands, stay home, cover your cough. It's our new reality with COVID-19. The anxiety can be overwhelming. If you're feeling extra worried, you're not alone. You can still contact a mental health professional. They're ready to help you get through this. And remember, prepare, focus on the essentials. Protect, keep some space from people outside your home, and disinfect a lot. Get the facts at kycovid19.ky.gov. Prepare, protect, disinfect.
Craving a sandwich with mouth-watering chicken that's full of flavor with perfectly salted fries? Well, right now you can swing by McDonald's and bite into a classic McChicken and a small order of world-famous fries for just $2 and add any size soft drink, like an ice-cold Dr. Pepper for just $1 more. Get what you crave with McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
I'm Kevin Brooks with Future Design Building Material. These are challenging times we're facing, and with so much uncertainty, it's natural to be concerned. We know that the health and wellness of your family is most important. To work through these challenges together, we are offering new services to help. You can now call in orders and we'll deliver them curbside. We'll even deliver to your front door if that's what you need. Going forward, we'll continue to adapt to the changing conditions to continue to serve. We're all in this together. Call 270-259-9311 or go to fdbm.net and tell Future Design Building Materials how we can help you.
This is Christy with Cash Connection in the Vape Shop. We are open 6 days a week in Litchfield across from Walgreens and in Hardensburg behind Taco Bell. Cash Connection offers payday loans, and the Vape Shop is home to the 30 ml $6.99 e-liquid.
This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Bad news from the Emojiverse. There will be no new emoji unveiled in 2021. The planned annual release will be pushed back to 2022. The Unicode Consortium, nonprofit that oversees emoji standards, says the health crisis has caused the delay. Each year, emoji are typically approved in January before they're available across devices in September, when new versions of iOS and Android operating systems are usually announced. Facebook is testing out a messaging app for Apple Watch called Kit that lets users share stuff like emoji, voice messages, and location over Messenger with just a tap. Cable companies could take a big hit if live sports don't start back up soon. A report from MindNet Analytics says almost 70% of people with cable say live sports is a big reason why they subscribe. 10% of respondents say they are very likely to cancel cable if there are no major live sporting events by May 1st, and 33% of subscribers would cancel their cable contracts outright if the upcoming NFL season is postponed. Tech Report, Larry Olson.
Johnny was a schoolboy when he heard his first Beatles song. Love me do, I think it was, and from there it didn't take him long. Got himself a guitar, used to play every night.
Today is ASL Day.
Now he's in a rock and roll outfit.
So I guess that's quite a tribute for Virginia. We'll see with the governor's briefing this afternoon. American Sign Language Day, a way of observing, celebrating ASL. It was April 15, 1817. The first school for the deaf in the United States opened. So, yeah, good.
What year?
1817.
Wow.
70, let's see, it's interesting. 98% of deaf people do not receive education in sign language, and 72% of families do not sign with their deaf children.
Really?
I think you're going to see that those numbers get much more reasonable over the next generation.
Yeah.
Our children's generation understands the importance of ASL.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I can tell you that the new, or a trend I've seen in the new toddlers shows for babies, they're signing as they sing. So my
Yes.
Gemma can already sign more, but she touches her finger here. But when she's not speaking, her mouth's full, she'll sign more before she'll say it.
Well, and we both have daughters that are interested in sign language.
It's McDonald's Day today, the anniversary of the day in 1955 when Ray Kroc opened a McDonald's in DePlain, Illinois. This was the first restaurant of his franchise.
Well, McDowell's to you.
Hope I'm getting a discount
It
today.
was the 9th McDonald's restaurant overall, but they were all his. This was the first franchised McDonald's. Do you remember when they added their ribeye to their menu? It was
help me.
It was a big mistake.
That's good.
I see. Okay, I got it. It's also Gripers Day today.
I got some gripe I'd like to get out.
Do you want to lead, or do you want to follow? Do you want me to give
I'll
a couple
follow.
that I've already thought of?
Sure.
Trying to open the Band-Aid packaging when you're bleeding profusely.
Oh, yeah, that's
If I had to-
especially in your hand. Yeah,
That's
if
right.
It's a cut on your finger.
If I hadn't cut myself, I could open a Band-Aid in 0.34 seconds.
Here's the problem.
But if I'm bleeding anywhere, forget it.
So I bring it up to my face to see it, and then I end up punching myself in the face when I finally get it. I'm like, I've just injured myself in a new way trying to cover up an injury.
when
You
the
need to
adhesive lets
you
go.
need to see your
Yes.
eye doctor.
I have.
All right, here's another major gripe. Discovering that you set your alarm for 7 p.m. instead of 7 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, pass fail. It's one little swipe, one little letter makes the difference. I think in the iPhone, when you scroll between AM, PM, I think it should, in big letters, go, "You sure?" Like if you ever set an alarm for 7 p.m.,
Yep.
I think the iOS should smart enough and go,
Wait, what?
"Why are you getting up in the evening?"
You should just set both AM and PM, and then
I guess one is much more
I'm a risk
intrusive than the
mitigator.
other.
Well, I know he's going to be up, so I have no chance of oversleeping.
The plastic ties that connect, so the Payless, right? Payless Shoe Source, for whatever reason, I don't know if their employees weren't capable of keeping shoes mated or if it was a theft deterrent thing, but the stores that had their shoes connected by that plastic connector and you couldn't, you could try them on, but you couldn't walk in them.
Have
like
you
penguin
tried doing
steps.
that with a child?
Okay, so
Oh, my lordy.
I know why. I had a classmate who had one foot that was bigger than the other, and it was my job to go shopping with her at the Payless and to help her swap out the shoe she needed, and it was like a whole size. Like she wore an 8 on one foot and like a 10 on the other. So it wasn't like a little bit.
Is she listening?
I hope so.
I hope so,
I hope
too.
so. And she will chime in because she loves to tell the story about me and her. Like she sent me
Well,
in
bless
to be
her
a
heart.
deterrent while after she bought the shoes to swap out for the other. I'm like, do you do this every time? She was like, every time.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't afford 2 pairs of shoes.
Never considered
but I
that.
can't wear.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're on the opposite. Like,
Right.
You think, well, if
You
I
have
bought
to
2 pairs
travel
of
back.
shoes, then that means you would have mixed match on the other side. Yeah, but they're
Right.
they're arced the other
Well,
way.
but her thing was, I just know there has to be another woman out there with my feet the opposite, and they appreciate that I leave a pair of shoes behind for
And
them.
hopefully they shop at the same store.
Yeah. And then opening a can of soup, but the lid falls in.
That's why I have the can opener that cuts it around the edge and takes the whole top
Okay,
off.
so I'm a firm believer in wiping off the top of your
Yes.
cans every single time because you don't know where they've been.
Preach.
Sure,
They've been in
yeah.
a warehouse, they've been in a
Rats.
grocery store. I mean,
Right.
mice, rats, anything could have
Again,
ran.
the
wipe
can opener
those-
that cuts off the edge.
Misty, you don't have a special can opener. You just use it properly than the rest of us.
That's true.
No, hers is different.
Mine,
It really is.
they laid it different so that you would grasp the concept, but all can openers are supposed to be
That's
used
right.
like
If
that.
you turn our can opener the other way,
Yes.
it will cut the top off the can where it can't fall in.
Right. It cuts
So I've
the
been doing it
outer
wrong.
We've
edge
all been
instead of-
doing it wrong. I only learned it like 18 months ago that that you're not supposed to, the can opener should not be perpendicular to the ground. It should be parallel to the ground.
Right.
When you turn it, it cuts the lid, it cuts the inside part and the rim off of the can.
Yep.
Yeah. Try it next time.
Yep.
I tried it and didn't like it. I was like, I don't like
this
that.
is the epiphany we had with the cupcake, that you're supposed to spin the bottom off the cupcake, put it on top, and then you make your own sandwich.
Right.
Yes.
And here's the
Valuable
other
knowledge here.
gripe. Why is it that dryer sheets love sleeves? The inside of sleeves. Can we create a dryer sheet that does not automatically go find the inside of a sleeve?
I would just like it if they would stay in the dryer when I pull everything out.
I've been on the show before and reached out like this, and a dryer sheet came popping out of my
It's
sleeve.
like a magic trick.
At least you smell good.
Right.
So is this where the magic trick, like pull the color things out of your sleeve, came from? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, all the kerchiefs.
Yes.
But they're not.
Yes.
It would be better if they would color the dryer sheet.
I tell you how to get rid of them. Throw in a hooded sweatshirt to every dryer, and they love the hood of a hooded sweatshirt more than they love your sleeves. So use that as your catch-all, your screening.
So parents are spending a lot of time with their children and perhaps learning things about their children they never realized before. There's a new article that I studied this morning. Adults sharing the most bizarre things that they believed as kids. Right? So spending time being nostalgic, figuring out, and then hearkening back to how it was when you were your kid's age.
Right.
Misty, you have always talked about seeing your teachers away from school was odd to you because you thought they lived at school.
Why was Miss Martin at the fair?
That's right. And that's on this list. Okay.
Who let her out of the school?
You're not the only one that thought that. Because
Yeah,
I read
yeah.
that this morning. I was like, oh, yeah, Misty
yeah.
used to believe that. I, for instance, thought that miniature trampolines automatically made you turn over.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that there was that the responsibility of turning over was on me. I thought it was the trampoline's job.
Is that the first time you had the wind knocked out of you?
No, it is not.
It might have been the first,
right.
but
You
it certainly
think?
wasn't the last. Yeah, I remember the other times. This person said that I used to believe that cats are girls and dogs are boys.
Oh, I can see that.
can see where
probably
that
As a
would-
little
was
kid, I can
confused.
see
Sure.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another person said, I thought Navy SEALs were actual SEAls, like trained ones that they use for missions. I was always confused, though, because SEAls didn't seem like they'd be very good at that kind of stuff,
That's sweet.
like carrying an
Yes.
assault rifle.
Yes.
That was more dolphinish, but I like it.
But I appreciate the attempt.
Oh, sorry. Or we
Yes.
talked about dolphins yesterday, right?
Those are, seals are.
My mom used to tell me that me and my siblings that the car wouldn't start until everyone had their seatbelts buckled. I believed that until I was 10 years old.
Good for you, Mom.
That may be a thing today. Cars are certainly capable of knowing I'm not going to start until
Right.
people are buckled in.
Remind me to tell
That's
you
an
what
awesome mom.
what I convinced my children with a stoplight. Yeah.
Okay. Another person said, that the factories that had smokestacks with white smoke coming from them were clouds. I thought factories made clouds.
I can see it's kind of like the cat and dog
I
thing.
can see that. Mm-hmm. That tiny cops lived in traffic lights and they directed traffic.
Okay, so when I would pull up to a red light, my kids were younger, I would watch it on the other side to turn.
and predict
So when it was getting ready to turn green, I would snap my finger and say, turn green.
Well done.
Well, my kids were amazed by that. And
magic.
One day it got stalled, and I went, oh, my magic stuck in my elbow. So then I noticed that my kids would be in the back seat going, when am I going to get my magic?
That's sweet.
I
Love
was
it.
like, oh, Lord.
Not me, but a friend of mine as a kid believed that eventually he had to choose and settle on a radio station for the rest of his life.
I can remember thinking something similar.
He told me he would lie in bed and contemplate for hours in despair on which radio station to choose once he would turn 18. That's a proven fact. In matter of fact, you've already chosen.
You've chosen.
You've chosen.
There's no leaving us now.
We're glad that you're here.
We're like Hotel California.
That's right. If you don't let the microwave finish beeping after it's counted to 0, it hasn't released all the radiation inside, and it'll spray it everywhere when opened. I wish I had thought of that. 7. Why does the microwave say 7?
Because this one here, it doesn't just beep once. It continues to beep.
Oh, come to our house.
I believed that my grandma's name was actually Abuela, which is what I called her when I found out she had an actual name. I insisted that she was lying to me. So that's Spanish for grandmother, right? Isn't
Right.
Abuela
It is.
Spanish for grandmother?
So my mother-in-law, we had a friend named Enrique, and she thought his name was Henry K. And she called him Henry, and we could never convince her that it was Enrique, not Henry K. I like it.
As a kid, I was afraid of showers because I thought you could drown in them. I didn't know what the plug did. All right, got it. And then that you could not open the fridge while getting water because the inside fills up and drains through the hole that the water comes from.
Here's one that made me so paranoid. My uncle told me if I ever got a hole in my belly button, I would deflate and die. And I would spend hours looking for holes in my belly button when I was like 4 and 5 years old. And then I can remember looking at my grandmother and thinking, how did you have my mom? She's so big. Because it didn't dawn on me that my mom was born a baby and grew up. I just thought she was always my mom, and she was a grown woman.
Got it. And then, a lot of people getting creative during the pandemic and spending more time and finding ways to pass the time. And as part of the Stay Home, Stay Healthy initiative, there's a family in Washington State. They were so bored during lockdown that they decided to recreate Journey's Separate Ways music video. And this one made me so happy because that's the exact song that my sisters and I dressed up to in the driveway with smoke bombs and everything from Uncle Hub's IGA and did our rock show to Journey's Separate Ways.
Please tell me there are photos.
No, this prior to Hub and Mary Lynn getting me the Polaroid, apparently.
Oh, man.
We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got plenty more on the way here on In the Know.
Your choice of lifestyle directly affects your health. And while there are many complex factors surrounding your lifestyle, sometimes the simple truth is that you just need to feel better. Well, rest assured, your feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know you and your lifestyle so we can provide sound advice on ways to improve your overall health. So whether your goal is to maintain a healthy lifestyle or overcome that untimely sickness, remember, your feel better starts here at Midway Pharmacy.
I'm Neeli Bendapudi, president of the University of Louisville. I know what it's like to move to a new place and to immediately fall in love. The first thing I noticed about the University of Louisville is how very much people care about this place. They care about the beautiful campus and the urban landscape of a large city that surrounds it. They want to brag about the academic successes, from graduating students to groundbreaking research. They embrace our diversity. They care about our sports teams. Do they care about our sports teams? But most importantly, they care about each other. Yes, we care about each other. We see how medical discoveries take teamwork. We see faculty who celebrate student success. A place becomes special only when it's filled with people who truly care about it. And that's who we are at the University of Louisville.
Hey Kentucky, your voice counts. Taking the census helps Kentucky receive funds for school lunches, life-saving medical care, educational programs, roads and bridges, and other programs that benefit you, your family, and your community. The census is just 9 questions and only takes 10 minutes to complete. Plus, it's safe and secure. By April 1st, your home will receive official Census Bureau mail with info on how to respond. So Kentucky, let your voice be heard. Be counted. Learn more at CountMeInKY2020.com.
As a child, I can remember always being excited about going to Community Trust Bank with my parents because I knew I was going to get a treat. It's funny, now that I'm married, have 2 kids, and just bought a new home, when it came time for a new home loan, I went to Community Trust Bank. I trust them and knew they'd be there for me and my family, just like they were there for Mom and Dad. And now with 79 locations, there's no reason to go anywhere else but Community Trust.
Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
A fake text message claims there's a problem with your FedEx delivery. Hi, I'm Rihanna Smith-Hamlin with the Better Business Bureau. The fake text addresses you by name and asks you to click on a link to set delivery preferences for your package. The message could also arrive via email. Some consumers say the link takes them to a survey which asks for personal information. FedEx will not send unsolicited messages requesting money or personal information. If something seems suspicious, contact the company directly. For more tips, go to bbb.org.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather.
Highs warm into the 50s this afternoon before a cold front arrives, bringing some scattered showers and some gusty winds. We get rid of the rain and the wind as we head through the evening hours. The clouds clear out for tonight as temperatures fall down into the upper 20s and low 30s. From the Wave 3 News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
I pulled into Nazareth, was feeling about half past dead. I just need some place.
Did you know at the first professional baseball game, the umpire was fined 6 cents for swearing?
I love a good swear jar.
Are you swearing?
Yeah.
There's no swearing in baseball.
I like it. Man, we used to be a dignified citizenship.
How many years ago was that?
A
long time.
1800s. Yeah, it's been a long time. But
I mean,
6
so
we had a moral compass about us.
6 cents was a lot, I guess, a lot then. But it's just weird that the umpire, I'm like, what did the umpire was in charge? What did he have to swear about exactly? Makes no sense.
Maybe the ball came too close to his face. I don't know.
Maybe before they invented masks.
Right.
Here's today. We're going to play a round of threesers today. We've been trying to rotate through, things to kind of engage the brain, mental calisthenics, so to speak.
Some of you all could use some of that.
Yes, it doesn't hurt. So we're going to do. I have 3 sections of 3 things, and you have to tell me what each section has in common. Okay, something I like to call threesers. Are you ready for the first set?
Okay.
All right.
Car tires, crops, and roasting pigs. Car tires, crops, and roasting pigs. Feel free to play along in the comments section. Each correct answer gets you 0 points. And when you accumulate 100 points, you win nothing. So there's your rewards chart. Misty is deep in thought.
Yeah, see, I ran my mouth and said some of y'all need this, and now
Car tires, crops, and roasting pigs.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Miss Buckles.
Farmer's daughter.
What is your guess? What do car tires, crops, and roasting pigs have in common?
Things you rotate.
Misty, what is your guess?
Things you rotate.
That is correct. You got
See,
it.
I would have never put the rotating crops.
Well, you have to because the soil. I mean, yeah, that's a whole.
Well, I should have known that because that's biblical.
Threeser section 2. Are you ready? Threes are section 2. Little monsters,
Just the little ones.
parrot heads, and directioners. Little monsters, parrot heads, and directioners. What do they have in common? Little monsters, parrot heads, and directioners. I was excited yesterday. I had to reach out to Miss Buckles and share the news. Katy Perry is hinting at a Las Vegas residency since she's a mom-to-be. She knows she wants to stay performing, even though she's a mom, but she doesn't want to tour the country. So she's going to let the country come to her in Las Vegas, and she will be filling the void if the deal gets done. She'll be using the Coliseum, which is where Celine Dion did her residency. Elton John has played there as well. Don't know the dates, but would really look forward to seeing her doing a residency. Someday when we're allowed to gather in large groups again. Saved by the Bell, Punky Brewster, reboots, and more are coming to NBC's new Peacock streaming service. So after you get your Quibi paid for, then you can pay for your Peacock streaming service.
You never tell me if your Donald Bucks came in.
They did. The Donald Bucks are in, but I got to turn around and give the Donald Bucks right back to the Fed.
To the Donald?
But I'm not doing it until July 15th.
It was a bigly check, and now I want it back.
It was bigly. There's a lot of power in the presidency. I can send Donald Bucks to everyone. By the way, if you've not looked, when you cash your stimulus check, the currency they give you has Trump's head on it instead of Washington or Lincoln or
Is it orange?
True story. Yes, it's a tone of orange.
Yay.
It's an earth tone.
Oh, that's very good.
Misty, what do little monsters, parrot heads, and directioners have in common?
I'm going to say fan clubs.
Fan club. Beach, what do you say?
I really didn't have anything, so I was going to cheat off of her.
All right, so you're both correct. You went absolutely nothing. Congratulations. They
Story of my
are
life.
fan-based nicknames. Lady Gaga, Jimmy Buffett, One Direction.
Well, see, I didn't get that. The last one was the one I didn't get.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that had I
Yeah.
not known the first two.
See, my kids went through that.
Okay.
Okay, and the final threes
Or
are
One Direction.
arm, thumb, mud. Arm, thumb, mud. What do those three things have in common? If you've ever been to a county fair, you know the answer. Right?
Gotta be.
Now I
You've ever been
Two
to
heads are better than one over here today.
If you've
Just
ever
saying.
been to a county fair, you know what arm, thumb, and mud have in common.
And I really think they're,
It's true, right?
Yeah, especially in Grayson County.
Alex
Specialize.
Alex Trebek is publishing an inspiring memoir amid his fight against pancreatic cancer. That's good. And Bill Murray has returned to a new retooled Jeep commercial that we first saw during the Super Bowl about Groundhog Day.
I liked that commercial.
Many of us are worrying about the feeling like Groundhog Day. Arm, thumb, and mud. Miss Buckles, what do those three things have in common?
Wrestling.
No, wrestling.
No, I say it correctly.
Well, you can't
but
be in Grayson County
I
then.
think that yours had a little bit of an A in it when you said it.
you
I know
tried.
Let me try again. Wrestling.
Wrestling.
No, it's wrestling. I mean,
It's not
come
wrestling.
on, don't
It is
you-
wrestling. It's mud wrestling if you're at the fair.
Absolutely.
Get your corn dog. It's like mud wrestling
We
in
got to
10
get to a
minutes.
break. We'll come back. Got Chart Toppers, Point to Ponder, Pearl of Wisdom. We'll ring the bells coming up later on the show. That and more coming up here on In the Know.
Nobody hopes for difficult circumstances, but when they happen, it's good to remember that it's often our struggles that bring out the best in us. Hi, this is Jim Daly with Focus on the Family. Winston Churchill is widely regarded as one of the most important men of the 20th century, but that wasn't always the case. His first few years in government were rocky. He couldn't even bring consensus to his own party, let alone rally an entire nation. Came and history needed Churchill. Not until he was faced with one of the greatest threats the modern world had seen did his true leadership abilities come out. While many statesmen urged Churchill to sign a truce with Germany, Churchill refused. Instead, he rallied the British people to fight wherever the battle led, and famously urged them to never surrender. And I'm sure Churchill would have preferred not to deal with the likes of Adolf Hitler. And yet, it was the danger he posed that demanded such greatness from the British Prime Minister. In a similar way, I'm sure the difficulties you're currently facing aren't what you desire either. But think of it this way. Those struggles might bring out a greatness you never knew you had. Just like Britain needed Churchill in that moment, your loved ones may need you in the challenging moments you're facing right now. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
Craving a sandwich with mouth-watering chicken that's full of flavor with perfectly salted fries? Well, right now you can swing by McDonald's and bite into a classic McChicken and a small order of world-famous fries for just $2 and add any size soft drink, like an ice-cold Dr. Pepper for just $1 more. Get what you crave with McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
I'm Kevin Brooks with Future Design Building Material. These are challenging times we're facing, and with so much uncertainty, it's natural to be concerned. We know that the health and wellness of your family is most important. To work through these challenges together, we are offering new services to help. You can now call in orders and we'll deliver them curbside. We'll even deliver to your front door if that's what you need. Going forward, we'll continue to adapt to the changing conditions to continue to serve. We're all in this together. Call 270-259-9311 or go to fdbm.net and tell Future Design Building Materials how we can help you.
This is Christy with Cash Connection in the Vape Shop. We are open 6 days a week in Litchfield across from Walgreens and in Hardinsburg behind Taco Bell. Cash Connection offers payday loans, and the Vape Shop is home to the 30 ml $6.99 e-liquid.
This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Battery power made by Steel. From trimmers and mowers to chainsaws and blowers, Steel battery tools are exactly what you need to tackle your to-do list. Whether you need to maintain your yard or completely transform your landscape. Battery power made by Steel. Steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot, always at a local Steel dealer. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. Lowe's and the Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
That boy of mine, he sure does take after me. I love football, he loves football. I put ketchup on my eggs, he puts ketchup on his. I didn't wear my seatbelt, neither did he. So nothing's gonna be the same ever again. So please, show your kids what a good driver does. Buckle up and put your phone down.
Spend a night in LA, just another chance to see you. Just you and I.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. If you could be any fictional character, who would you be? Fictional character.
Oh my gosh, I need more
That is
time to
so
think
hard.
about that. Probably one of the Powerpuff Girls.
I immediately started thinking surely one of the superheroes. I just don't know which one I would choose.
Yeah, I'd love to be a Wonder Woman.
Because
Like,
they each have a special power, so
yeah.
But then I started running through movie characters. Like, is there a movie character I would really like to be?
What's the island she came from? Wonder Woman.
Oh, the Amazon.
The Amazons, yeah. Like, I just want to be one of the Amazons.
Amazonia?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's way too hard for me. I need more time to think about that.
The 17-year-old me would say Maverick from Top Gun. Maverick, Pete Mitchell.
Yeah.
You know, like, but no, you wouldn't want to be that, really. So there are many, it's hard to do, but I still think it's going to be something in the sphere of superpowers and
Sure.
superheroes.
But which superpower?
I mean, might as well
do
be
you want?
super. If Spider-Man had the proper number of legs that spiders are supposed to have, I might be more interested, but just not.
It's awkward, though.
It feels like kind of getting
Hermione
shortchanged.
Granger, I think that's one that comes to mind. Extremely
Who?
intelligent
Spell.
from Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Hermione.
Okay,
yeah.
Emma Watson's celebrating a birthday today, by the way. Here on TV tonight, American Housewife moves back to a new night and time. I think she's moving back to Wednesday. They went to Friday, now they're back. Survivor, The Masked Singer, Lego Masters on Fox, and then all the Chicagos. Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago PD, and Chicago Plumbers. all have their season finales tonight on NBC.
Chicago
All
pizza
right.
to you.
Misty, you did a little, we don't have much time, but you did a little more digging yesterday on the governor's ask for us to ring the bells. Another thing we're supposed to be doing in ringing the bells is for those people who are isolated to feel a togetherness during this time, right? So we've been ringing the bells every day in tribute to and playing My Old Kentucky Home. In tribute to those that we lost, but also for those of us who are social distancing to know that we're in this together and everything's going to be okay. It's 10 o'clock, and here is My Old Kentucky Home from the University of Kentucky Marching Band. Today's highlight in history. This, unfortunately, is the anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombing, this date in 2013. In 1452, artist and inventor Leonardo da Vinci was born in the Tuscan town near Vinci. In 1850, the city of San Francisco was incorporated. The Titanic sank this date in 1912. Jackie Robinson made his official debut with the Brooklyn Dodgers this date in 1947. We have birthdays today. The columnist Heloise is 69 today. Emma Thompson is 61 today. Samantha Fox is 54. Chris Stapleton is 42. Seth Rogen is 38. Emma Watson is 30. And Macy Williams is 23. Macy Williams is the actress that played Arya Stark on Game of Thrones. Gone but not forgotten, Butch Cassidy was born this date in 1866. Elizabeth Montgomery, who played Samantha on Bewitched, born this date in 1933. And Roy Clark, born this date in 1933 as well. I didn't know Elizabeth Montgomery and Roy Clark shared a birthday, but they did.
Broke as many hearts as ripples in a stream.
Chart toppers.
Well, brother, here's the only way that you can be redeemed.
Patty Page. 1955. 1954.
Change your
Patty Page was just all the rage in the early 50s, wasn't she?
I think she was only. There were only like 5 people.
Doggy in the
recording music
Window, and then we had another Patty Page song in the last couple of weeks. Was there anyone else from? I guess it was her and Perry Como. 1963, the Chiffons #1, and He's So Fine. By the way, I'd like to launch a formal protest and disagreement with the descendants of the band The Weight, who wrote The Weight, the Take a Load Off Annie song. They apparently don't think our audience deserves to hear that song. I hope your stimulus check's delayed.
Hope your Donald Bucks bounce.
We were trucking along pretty good until they said, "Oh, you don't get to use that song." 1972, Michael Jackson. Blanket's not going to throw a flag on us. Rockin' Robin. Well, Rockin' Robin, that was
What year
Chuck
was
Berry
that?
did that song first, right?
What year was that one?
72 is when the
Okay.
Michael Jackson did it.
All right.
I don't know if it was his first solo single, but it was pretty close.
So maybe, who did it originally again?
I think Chuck Berry did Rockin' Robin first.
Because I remember this from my memos.
Oh, yeah. 1981, Sheena Easton.
Baby takes the morning train. He works from 9 till 5 and then he takes another home again to find me waiting for him.
I loved that song when I was little.
Me too. I remember waking up like it was such a big hit, and Mom I could tell Mom cranked the radio up a little extra when it came on in the morning to get us out of bed.
Yeah.
Or she must have really, like she's thinking about Dad taking the morning train. And he works from 9 to 5. Jane Child, number 1, this date 1990, Don't Want to Fall in Love. Lenny Kravitz, number 1 in 99, Fly Away. And That's What I Like, Bruno Mars, number 1, 3 years ago today. Don't forget the county COVID-19 briefing coming up, I guess, in an hour. It's at 11 o'clock, less than an hour now, on the K105 digital productions platforms, and then here on 103.9, 104.9, and 870 AM. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. If the grass is greener on the other side, you can bet the water bill is higher. If the grass is greener on the other side, you can bet the water bill is higher. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Misty Thomas, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powered by Heritage Media of Kentucky, WKHG Litchfield, Kentucky, USA, 104.9 FM, the Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105. Your news starts